Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share messages that I get from Spirit for all of us who are all on this journey to love and to reunite with our divine vibrational matches in this lifetime. And today I'm going to be sharing a message from the Good Tarot and also the Work Your Light Oracle as well. And I just wanted to share, I think there's been some really strong connections and messages coming through recently. So this is for those who feel that they have connected to this twin flame or soul to soul, let's say energy frequency. And yesterday all my messages go from one to the next, and they're all super connected. And they are all sort of connected by the soul group that sort of come together. And yesterday I shared a message from the Willow Tree. And the reason why I shared that is because a lady contacted me and the willow was very personal to that lady. And and when she contacted me, I said, well, it's the second time the willow has come up this morning. And so I will do a message around the Willow Tree. And the Willow Tree message was saying that basically this was like the young boy, when he was an adult, went to the Willow Tree to remember his childhood love. What was so lovely is that the lady came back to me and said basically that had happened to her and her twin, that they were childhood sweethearts. And so, I was like, well, there you go. He obviously really wanted to get a message through to you. His energy, his spirit wanted to get a message to you. And those sorts of things, that we all experience, and we all get messages through different means, and through different channels and through songs or through these videos or, through readers that you connect with. But she had sent me, said, am I familiar with a lady called Sylvia, who's also got a YouTube channel? I forget her actual, I think it's the Enchanted something or other. The Enchanted Twin Flame, who I wasn't familiar with because I don't actually watch Twin Flame I don't watch Twin Flame videos. And the reason why I don't watch them is because again, everything's super personal to each other's journey, but my guides always have said to me, stay in your lane. So basically they just show me like a track, and they always just say, just stay in your lane, just keep so basically I guess it just means just keep your guidance focused on your guidance. And so I wasn't familiar, but I did listen to a bit of her message, and what she was saying was that a lot of divine feminines who have been on this path for quite a while have experienced something like I was sharing a couple of months ago, that I found out that my twin had bought a house with his girlfriend. And so I did a video a few months ago, I think it was, where I said, and it was basically, I read out a poem which was saying she let go. And it's a beautiful poem. And it just kind of, in that moment, just epitomized everything or just summed up everything that I was feeling at that time. And what the Enchanted, that Sylvia, I'll call her name Sylvia because that's who I know that her name's Sylvia. I can't remember her channel, but she was saying that a lot of people that she has been connecting with have said that either they found out their twin has got married or, various things, all different things. And so interestingly, that a lot of people are disenchanted with this path, which I totally get, which is why, that's why, but the She Let Go poem that I read out at that time, because when you find out these sorts of things, of course it's heartbreaking, and there's no other word for it. It's absolutely heartbreaking. But once you go through that and you come out again the other side, um, you feel more connected, more um, more in your truth, and which is weird, which is why all of these connections are so, the paradox of everything, or the yin and yang of it all, is that why should, is that basically because even though things like that happen, which at the time completely like shake your world, and just, that that's happening because, ultimately, the time isn't now, and that's okay. And it just means that you have more growing to do in your own, on your own path, and also that's okay too. And it's about, all of that thing about, like, interestingly, over the last few days, it came through about the energy of impatience. And of course, the energy of impatience is that kind of thing of like, oh, what? It's not now, which of course is your instant reaction, is to feel like that. But then after a bit of time has settled, then it's like, okay, I understand. I understand there's more things that need to happen. I understand the bigger picture. I understand that we're part of a collective energy. I understand all of the, it allows you to move out of your individual, just like my guides are saying, just stay in your lane. You might be on a lane on a racetrack, but you're part of a huge, you're part of, like, a massive, I'm going to say race, but race isn't the word, but race, for want of a better word. You still got to put in the miles. You still got to put in the, you still got to have that goal in sight at the end, to keep you going, but you've got to stay in your lane. Anyway, so it was really interesting because I just thought, at those times when you just think, shit, can I go on? And then something like that happens for that lady yesterday, where she was like, that is because, that was so, and it was such a beautiful message for her, that it was the willow had a real personal connection for her. And then it came through that it was actually her, the same situation that they had gone through, and that was the message through the willow tree. And those are the beautiful things. Those are the moments that you just know that we're on such a beautiful and amazing and enchanted path. And it's when you get disenchanted, and then spirit will work wonders to bring you back on the path again. And that's what is, that's what's amazing. That's what we need to hold on to. And that's collectively what we're doing all together. Because if that lady hadn't said, and she hadn't sent me an email, if I hadn't noticed the connection of the willow tree, if I hadn't done a video about the willow tree, she wouldn't have got that message, which was clearly for her, about her twin. These things. And that's magic, that is so magic. And the day before about Bowie and Ziggy Stardust, the other little dog, you know who you are, those messages, all of these things are just incredible, right? That we're connected all over the world. So here we go. Look at that. The star, it's healing. The star, we are here to heal. And it's number 17. So 17, I think I mentioned, was it 17 yesterday that came through? 17 is 8. 8 is eternity, the eternal flame. So, star, the inspiration. I am hopeful and inspired by life right now, and everything that is happening points to a renewed sense of encouragement. After all the changes I've experienced, I'm starting to recognize the hope that comes with new beginnings. Oh my goodness. So just that new sense of encouragement, just what happened yesterday, that sense of encouragement, that like spirit just stepping in and going, I know you really need some help now. So I'm just going to get this message to you in this like crazy, like little convoluted way. And so we're all healing, and we're helping to heal each other. So I am hopeful and inspired by life right now, and everything that is happening points to a renewed sense of encouragement. After all the changes I've experienced, I'm starting to recognize the hope that comes with new beginnings. Wow. And I just love that card as well. Absolutely stunning. And just to know, you know, my twin once said to me, you know, it's written in the stars. And I was kind of like, yeah, I kind of do know that. And I was thinking, is he saying that because he knows, or is he saying that because that's something like I would say? Do you know what I mean? And so just trust, you know, just trust that it is all kind of happening, and you know, it never happens on the time scale of what we think. That's why, you know, it's all about releasing any expectation around it, which again is, you know, really difficult to do. But I think that the more we have that ability to let it go, as in you can feel it in your body, it's not that tension anymore. It's just like, okay, I'm just going to let this go and just trust and have faith that my highest path will lead us back together, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to raise and ground love on the planet, and everything else in the meantime is for our healing. Look at that, there we go, back to the start, back to healing, back to awakening our souls, back to you know, being the sun, the vibrancy, and the light. So I'm going to share working our light on that. Let's have a look. What one is it? It is Lemuria, creating heaven on earth, Lemuria. There we go. That's what we're doing, creating this heaven on earth. And again, you know, this is like one of those, just like the other card said, it's like giving you that encouragement to say, just remember what you're doing. It may not be working on your timetable. In fact, it probably definitely isn't working according to your timetable, because if it was, then that would be a little bit too easy, wouldn't it? And they'd like to give us a bit of a challenge. So let me just find out where it is, and then I will read Lemuria, which is all about coming home, basically. And we are the home for each other. We are the vibration for each other. And that's the other thing to remember, is that, you know, it's all about vibration. And that's why your twin felt different, because it was a vibration which like wakens your soul and makes you think, oh, this is good. Why does this feel so good? Hang on, I'm just going to look for, it's on page 114. Okay, so hang on, 114 from the book. Very difficult to find in this book. It's annoying. Okay, so creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Lemuria, or Mu, is one of the Earth's lost lands, where heaven really was a place on Earth, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In Lemuria, life worked in harmony. All beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. We knew that mosquito was no worse than us, and the sun no better. Perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on Earth. And perhaps you're a part of the transition team who at a soul level are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. Thank you for wanting to do this work. It is easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It is closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible. And while at times it may feel like you're alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystals that hold the codes of remembering that are beginning to rise all over the planet. I use a Lemuria crystal in my when I do healings for people. I hold a Lemuria crystal in each of my hands with a smoky quartz crystal as well. So keep doing what you're doing, and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves. And the light translation is, I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. So there we go. And look what's at the bottom of the deck. Yes, warrior woman. Yes, warrior woman for the light. I love it. So trust, trust in you being, how are you being answered? How are you being called to answer your deepest calling? What are you doing to shine your light and be that warrior woman for your life? So it was on page 114. So I am just straight away, I've seen the first line of this letter, which is just brilliant. Seeing as I was just saying at the beginning of this video, I was saying a lot of people have gone through like recent, over the last few months or 6 months, or however long it is, finding out that their twin has either got married or moved in with somebody, or all of these things that frankly you're just like, you what? You're like, are you serious? And then look, I want you to know that I've been an utter fool. I realise this now. Well, actually, I've always known that I've been shying away from our connection because I was afraid of it. Afraid of the strength of feelings that I had for you, and so quickly. It surprised me and defied all logic, so it totally freaked me out. But I haven't stopped thinking about you. I see your smile in my eyes. I feel your heart in my heart. I wish for you in my dreams. You are everywhere around me. It seems that everything I look at or hear or see reminds me of you. Everything always comes back to you, like a circle of love that is etched in my heart. No matter which way I turn, I always come back around to you. Trust in me that I can make our love a reality, that we can be together in this life, holding each other, caring for each other, loving each other. Okay, so there you go. That's kind of the perfect message, isn't it? To go, I've been such a fool. You're like, well, the choices that we make are all part of our soul growth as well. So, we trust. So there's a million things that I'd like to say, and there's a million things I'd like to do. There's a million places I'd like to go with you. Our bucket list is getting longer and longer. Everywhere I go and I think that you'd love it, I add it to our list. Know that our life together really is going to be remarkable. We will not let anything stop us from living in the moment of pure joy and unconditional love and bliss. Trust me when I tell you that we are going to live every day as if it's our last. And every day I'm going to tell you how much I love you and how my life can be made more special since you came into it. You are pure divine love. Okay, last one. This is book 3. This is the last one. So we have, I can't believe how far we've come. I know that I falter at times, but it's because sometimes it just feels too good to be true. That how can this all possibly be real? The whole created together thing, the other half of my soul, it's more magical than any fairy tale, more than I could ever have even dreamt of. So that's why I go into doubt. It's only really briefly, because then I snap out of it and see the wonder of the journey. Just as I was saying over the last, if you feel disenchanted, it's totally understandable. So, and then I snap out of it again and I see the wonder of the journey and all these incredible signs that the universe are bringing to keep me on track. It's just so mind-alteringly surreal. Our love is magical. Well, there you go. So, what can I say? Our love is real. And you get those incredible signs like I was saying about I was listening to, so part of my kind of like awakening or awakening more and more to my spirit, let's say, was I would listen to the Avicii album and the Wake Me Up when I was doing Reiki 3 times a day in Gozo, which is a little island off Malta. And I just started to do Reiki. I'd just done my Reiki master, I think. And that's really when my intuition kicked in and I could started to hear things and see things. And I was doing this, like basically whatever my guidance was telling me to do, I would do it. And I would run down to the sea every morning listening to this album. And then yesterday I watched the Avicii documentary about it, true stories. It is about his life. If you if you watch it, if you've have, oh God, I can't speak, but it's a really, really good documentary. And he was a big DJ and he got famous super young. And it's just him telling his story. And actually, it's really, really, you just feel so like sad for him because he got severe anxiety from doing these massive, massive shows. And he didn't actually like performing, but he did like making music. That's what really, you know, lit his soul, was the making of the music. But actually playing to a crowd just gave him crippling anxiety. Anyway, so I'm watching that documentary, and in the documentary, the only other person's name that gets mentioned in this documentary is my twin's name. And I knew it. And then in the credits, I was like, I bet my twin's surname is going to be in the credits of this. Sure enough, yeah, there it was. So, and these, you know, these are the things. They're like, meeting my twin woke me up, literally, because it made me think, what the hell was that? And why on this earth can I not get this person out of my head? And interestingly, yesterday's card was the Willow Tree also was talking about the ghost, right? That in Japan, they are seeing the sign of the ghost. Well, my twin, when I first started seeing my twin spirit, you know, like, I mean, this is what's so ridiculous. When in the film Ghost, Whoopi Goldberg does this scene where she's like singing and singing and singing to Patrick Swayze, and he's just like going crazy, just going like, why don't you just leave me alone? Anyway, that's what when I first started to see my twin spirit, that's what he would do to me. And he would just like do all these things, and like I'd be like, just get away from me. Why are you here? And you know, that's just, when I think about it now, it's so crazy. And that hasn't happened for a long time, but I remember like at the beginning it was very intense, and it was all part of that waking up to, you know, more than this physical reality. And it just sort of snowballed very quickly for me. So, you know, that's the magic, right? That's why it's saying just trust. That's why we got this card today of the star to say, remember, this is all about healing. And we go through healing by healing ourselves. And we heal ourselves by diving into our souls. And when we dive into our souls, we dive into the expansiveness of the universe and everything that that brings. And just remember that that's what we're doing. So I really hope that helps. If you would like to have a healing, a reading, a channeling, or to get any of my books, they're all available on Amazon. So I'd be very happy to help. But in the meantime, I hope this message helps you in some way. And stay well, stay bright, and stay switched on to the light. See ya. Bye.